behind, and because of how this section is structured. So in the syllabus, which I believe all of us have open or go through it, we'll notice that this Office Ready, Microsoft Word is part of what we need to discuss at the forefront. So, and this is the list of everything we are seeing here. So, most of us, when we share this thing, it's shared as PDF, but as we are seeing here, I designed it inside the micro. It is designed inside the Microsoft Word. If you look at this section, most of us will not notice this inside. Let me bring something up so that I can be able to zoom some things. Yeah. So if you look at this part that I am currently, we have what we have here. You see this navigation bar. Most of us really don't know what we use it to do inside Microsoft Word. So, and with what I'm having here, I can easily move around my document. I can move to module 2, what we are going to discuss. I can jump straight to module 3. I can jump straight to module 4. And with this, is what make it very easy for me to have my table of content at the top here. All this list of table of content. I did not write them one by one. It is not written one by one. It is generated automatically inside Microsoft Word. So all of these things are basic things that we ought to know. It is a like basic. The way we mentioned it in the last something, it is a basic, completely basic thing that is required, and nobody will say the way they used to do in some times back that okay, they will put you under training to learn Microsoft Word, to learn. No company is putting anybody under training to learn all those kind of stuff now. Currently, they believe you should know it. There are more complicated things, coding, advanced things that they believe each and every one of us should have. Yes, so maybe if you don't have them, they'll find a way to put you through on that. Now, this will be the first module, and I will only cover some part. Okay, let me move to the next part, which is this one. Create professional business document and master advanced formatting document automation. This is what I'll be doing first because we need to master some things before we can create that document we want to do. So for that reason, I'll be going down to this architecture. Everything is divided into 4 pillars, and I plan to do 2 today. But with time, let me just cover some of the basic and what we are familiar with. Now, the most important thing is to make sure you save your document, and when you save it, make sure you know where you save it. It is one thing to save it, and it's another thing to make sure you know where you save it. There are a couple of ways you can save it. You can click on this way that we have document 1. If you click, you will see this dialog box or pop-up that will come up. You can come down here to where we have file, and you click on save. So when you want to save it from this end, it's going to bring out, you see, I'm having this PC, I'm having add a place, I'm having browse. But me, I'll be choosing this PC because so that I can pick from my drive. So seeing all of this list, I will make sure I want to save it inside download, and I have another place which I call Word, this one. I can save it inside Word document, I can save it inside download. So make sure you know where you want to save it. So when you click on it, it's going to bring out some stuff, and you will notice how you want to save anything you want to save. So then I will change this thing to, let me say, day 1. Let me just change it to day 1 module 1, and you click on save. So immediately you do that, your document is saved. And another way you can save is by pressing Ctrl S on the keyboard. As you see that is displayed here. If you click Ctrl S, the same dialog box will come up. You do the same thing, you save it, and you're good to go. So if you have any question, make sure you unmute and ask the question before we proceed. It's because I will not want to be coming back and going like this in order to come and check the comment section. Now, one thing that I will do here now is after you save, which is very important, I will not talk too much on what I'm having at the top here because we should be familiar with what I'm having at the top here. So I don't want to use maybe lorem. Let me use random. Let's see if I'll see some random text. Let me put 50. So we are familiar with this kind of thing. I've done this. If you have anybody that is not just in our account before, will not be able to understand what I've just done now. It's just for me to have the ability to generate some random text. I just want to put some random text inside this place. So let me move inside this place, which is advanced formatting style header, footer, page numbering, and section break. So let me firstly take advanced formatting style and this style, they are together. Advanced text formatting and style, they are together. So most of us have been seeing this thing inside our Microsoft Word for maybe, and we really don't use it for anything. This group that we have a style group, this section, we have normal, we have spacing, no spacing, header two, title, and so on. So let me take that back a little bit. So if you click on this arrow icon, this will bring out more that is available inside. And let us note that we can create a style, we can clear formatting, and we can apply it. So these are the things that we can, because most of the one that we have prepared from Microsoft, we might not want to use, and most of the time we really don't want to use that. Now, if you look at this style, everything that I'm having here, look at this font side. Now, styling will give us the ability to generate our table of content automatically. So we understand what I'm about to do. Styling will give us the ability to generate our table of content automatically. So most of everything that we do, like bold, italize, align left, align to the right, justify, and all these things, we really don't need to be doing it one by one if we understand the power of this style. So that's why we call it advanced formatting style. So you don't expect me that I want to create a book, although there will still be a section for that, like when you want to do it for book publication. And if I want to create a book that has 500 pages, and you expect me to be moving from one page to one page, aligning, putting double line spacing, doing my justification, bolding some text and all of that, and at the end of the day, I also want to generate table of content, it's going to be very tedious. So this style will allow us to be able to do everything automatically. So I will be taking this thing one by one. Let me move to this part that we have view from this tab. You know, we have home tab, insert tab, draw, design, layout, reference, mailing, view, developer app. Now, some of us might not have all of these things inside our Microsoft Word. I'm using Microsoft 2021, and nevertheless, I know that most of us will not have this developer mode. Only if the person that helps us to install it has maybe made some changes inside. And what me I'm having at the top here, this top bar, some of us will not have it. I know that because some of us are not going to have it. I'm the one that put some of these things here so that I can access it very quick and fast. Now, before I move down into the formatting section, maybe you don't have this view because I want to use it. You don't have this developer or some other things. Just quickly go down to file, go to option, and inside your option, go down to, let me zoom it in, you will go to advanced. Inside your option, sorry, come down to customize ribbon, this one, customize ribbon. Now, when you get there, you will come down to this page. If there is anyone that is not checked, normally I've checked everything out. Now, let me uncheck this app so that we will see. Let me uncheck this one that says app, because let me say I'm not going to use it for now. If I uncheck it and I will click OK. So immediately I click on OK, you will notice that F has disappeared from this upper part. So let me do it one more time. Let me do one more thing. So let me come to option and uncheck goes to this customize ribbon. Then I will come down to this page that we have developer. Let me uncheck developer and bring back F. So let me click OK. So you notice that developer will disappear and this one that says help is here back. So if there is anyone out of all this tab that I'm having at the top here that is not inside your own Microsoft Word, just go there to bring it out and we can customize it as well. Now let me go back to where I want to show us inside this view, inside the view tab. And I'm seeing this one that says navigation play. Navigation play. So that you will have this sidebar that I'm seeing here. It's very important for advanced formatting. And this ruler also, let me uncheck it. You will notice that I'm not having any ruler at this edge now because I've unchecked it. And if you bring it back, so this ruler is very important for some quick setting inside your, so you can easily adjust this one to the top. You can bring this back down. So for some quick adjustment. So these are the things that you must get prepared and make sure that they are available. And one more thing, so when you are doing anything, always make sure that you are in print layout. I want to quickly explain everything I'm having here. If you are in read mode, this is how it's going to look like. Let me close this tab. You see, like you want to read something. Let me go back to my view and change it to other layout. So you can press escape to come out. Maybe it doesn't, you don't explain. There is website layout that looks like this, and always make sure that you are in print layout. Some of these things come when you open your Microsoft Word and a lot of things are on the screen. Make sure you are in this one that says print layout. Go from here, go to your view, and navigation plane, make sure it's open and intact. Now, I quickly want to format all of this text. If you notice, my document and most of the popular font is, people always make use of Times New Roman or Intact in something like this. Some people use Calibri as well, Calibri body. But let me say, okay, I want to make sure that everything that I'm having inside my document, no matter anytime I'm doing it, I'm pasting anything, I want to make sure that they are always in they are always in New Time Roman. So click on this type format that I'm having at the top. So I want to start everything afresh. I want to format and make sure that everything is in line automatically. Right click. There's a place where we call modify. You see this modify. You can rename it. If you don't like it to be normal, you can rename it to anything. But as for me, I still like it to be normal because these are body of my text. Some people label it as body. Is always, you always make sure you use this for body. So I leave it at normal. So let me bring this out back. Now we have a lot of information on the screen. We have paragraph style, we have this, we have this. Just leave everything I'm having at that top like that. Now formatting. No, we are talking about advanced formatting. I will change this one. You can type and you can select. I will change this to Times New Roman. After that, the font size should be 12. The minimum size that I would recommend for any document that you should go should always be 12. Anything smaller than 12, if there is no other reason for it, maybe you are doing newspaper, you are doing some other things, but things that have to do with official documents start from 12 and go up like that, so that people can see and you can maximize the space very much. Now you see this is alignment. This is left align, justify, right align, and align to the center. Now this one that you are seeing that looks like alignment, all this one at the center here is line spacing. This is single line spacing, this is 1.5, and this double line spacing. Now, any adjustments you are making to anything from this end, everything will be visible at this middle. That we have video provide power way to F. So let me make sure that every of my normal, which is the body of my content, should always be in justify. And I want it to be 1.5. And the same way I'm doing this, let me bring it out. You will see, based on what I'm saying, that okay, this one is one, this is 1.5, this is single line spacing, you'll be seeing everything down here. I've changed my font to be Times New Roman. You see it here as Times New Roman. I select justify. Let me change this justify to maybe align to the left. You see that this thing is left. Let me click justify. It's justified. You see this is line spacing. This is single line spacing. This is 1.5 spacing, and this is double line spacing. We see everything is changing like that. Now this part that we have is space in between, like space in between text. Notice this space that something will be changing from this side. If we see before and after. So before a text, we should have 6 points, and after it there should be 14 points. So if I change it this way to bring it together back, you see after is only 8 points. There is no before again. So if I click on this and I click again, which means before the text there should be 20 points, and after it there should be 12 points, and after it there should be 20 points. And this will be too much. If you notice this place and this place, is going to be showing what that means. That adjustment will be visible in those parts. So if I do that again and do it again, so that is that from that. And this one now is like tag or indent. You are moving it, you are changing it, indent. So I want to take that, but I don't need to have any indent for now in my body, in the body of my text. Now there is still another layer of formatting, which is this one that we have format. So I can format the font more than what I'm having on the screen. Now formatting this font more than this means that, okay, I want to make sure that all these things, there is a strike to, there is double strike, there is superscript, everything should be in uppercase, some text should be hidden, some should be cap lock. You see, there are lots more things that we can do, but not to give us much edit. Let me stick to this and click OK. You see that this text automatically change from everything, my body. You see those spacing that I've added. After every paragraph there should be this spacing, this spacing. You see everything is almost like, okay, there is a little bit changing and it's advanced. If I scroll down to any part of the document, that is what is going to act. Now let's move up a little bit. Let's move to the next one. Like this one that says no spacing, me, I don't need it. I really don't need it. So I will delete that. I will remove from start. So which means, let me zoom that in. I will remove this place from start. I will remove it completely. I don't need no spacing because I need some space inside based on what I want to design. Now, this one that says heading 1, immediately you pick any section. Let me just bring this one down, zoom it in, so the movement will not be hidden too much. Now, edits, you see this way that we have edits, we have page. You can scroll like this to see the number of pages you have, so you can move quickly. This is very important when you have maybe 500 pages. Results, we'll talk about that in other section. So I can just come here. Let me apply. Okay, let me write chapter 1. Chapter 1. What happened to my chapter? CHAPT. Yes, chapter 1. Now, for those of us that used to write project or document very well, we will notice that the chapter 1, most of the time, if we put it like this, supposed to be maybe bold at the center and stuff like that. And yes, something like this. And it's usually more than this, maybe around 16. Oh, somebody mic is on mute. Do you want to say something? I think I'll mute that person for now, and the person can unmute later. All right. No, we apply something like this. So I cannot be doing this one by one. If I have 150 chapters and I want to be doing this, I cannot be doing that always. So I need to customize one of these heading to work that way. So if I just click on this one, you will notice something. I'm having chapter 1 with this little thing that hides. So which means every of my document that is inside this place is inside this chapter. And then you click this chevron. Let me call it this chevron arrow. I click it, all the documents will come out. Now, looking at this layer, I'm having one thing inside my navigation bar because I've applied a style. I have applied a style different from just the normal one. So if I click on normal, you will see that thing will automatically change back if I click on the one. But this is now how I want my heading to look like. So I will do the same customization again. So I will change this one, change it to Time New Roman back. So I always recommend you use a single, most of the time, use just a single font. If there is no reason for you to use multiple fonts, I don't think there should be a reason for that. And you notice that the text is blue. I want all my text inside this document to always be what? Always be black. So I'll come here. Automatically, everything is black. You can click automatic or you can select on the option here to make sure it's black, but automatic is black. And I want it to be bold. I want to align it to the center. You notice I want to make sure it's at the center. I don't want double line spacing, that's too much. I want single line spacing. And before and after, this before and after is too much. Before is 18 and after is 4. So, and I don't, this is not possible from this end for me to adjust it properly. So this is before 12, after 6. I'll come down here and come to where I have paragraph. So inside my paragraph, I can change this manually. You see now, I'm having another dialog box displaying on the dialog box. So this is where it gets, don't let me say complicated, but advanced. So I will now change it. I want to make sure that both at the top, at the bottom, I'm having 12, 12. I like it to be like that. And the spacing 1.5, that's nice. What else do I want to change? Let me just leave everything for now. So if I want to do any other things, I can come back here to pick from the list and do many other things. So, but I'm not doing that for now. You notice that my changes has also applied to this place. So whoever can play around with all of that things. And now let me go to this place that I have font. So I want to make sure that anytime I'm using this thing, all the word is in capital letter, even if I put it as small letter. Immediately I put capitalize and I press OK, all caps. You can do any other thing you want to do here. So anything, anytime that I'm pressing that, everything should be all caps. I'll press OK on the keyboard. So you notice that this is all caps. Let me show us another thing. Let me say I want to apply that same style to this one. If you click on the side of your screen like this, inside a line, you will select that whole row. That row, you will select everything. Let me show us that one more. one more time for us to see. So maybe sometimes that people want to highlight and they will be using their cursor and dragging like this. If I want to select this whole line, just come to the free end here and click. Immediately you do that, everything you pick it, you click, you click, you click, you click. So we'll still talk about shortcut later, but for now, let's work with this. Now you notice that my, what will I call it? So I want to make sure that this one is also in heading 1 and is in small letter. And I have set this heading that anything that is, whenever I click on this heading, everything should be in all caps. Immediately I click, just click on anywhere. If you click at the front, you select it to be at the back, at the middle, anywhere you pick, everything will work fine. So I come to my heading 1 and pick it immediately. So it will adjust. So I don't need to go back and be selecting, picking the font. Everything will adjust automatically to the formatting that you have inside this place. I believe I'm not too fast. Can I move on? I want to see some reaction if I can move on. My voice, my recording, the screen, is everything intact? Any question? All right.
Sir,
Okay. Now,
please do the speed, sir. Do the speed. We are too fast.
I'm too fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's why I'm asking so that I will know how to adjust. So now let me do one more thing. I'll still do it one more, but I will do this time for heading 2. Now, what I've done so far is that I cover this normal page. So if I come here, I have format this one to be in normal because I want this normal to be my body. So let me change it back. Let me re-edit. He said I'm too fast. Let me notify, and I will come back to this page and change it from normal to body. I want to rename it. Let me clear this and change it to body. So whenever you see this, you're like, okay, this represents the body of my document. So I rename and press OK. So when I come here, you see I'm saying normal body. And the reason for that is because there is a settings here. I don't want to talk too much about that settings. I will not complicate things. This is the reason you are saying normal body because of style for following paragraph. That's why you are saying that normal body inside. Don't let me complicate things yet.
Excuse me. How
So
did you open this dialog box?
how I open this dialog box. Now, when you are on this place, so and now notice, that's why you will notice that some of the things, the key that I'm pressing is displaying on the screen. So if I right click and I press, let me just press maybe control, let me press control C. You notice that there is something on my screen that is showing control C. So if I drag anything, let me select and drag, and maybe press Ctrl V, you will notice that any key that I'm pressing will be displaying on the key. So some things that I did not mention, take note of that thing you will get as I'm going. No, now I will right click. If you right click on the keyboard on any of these things, make sure you're on the right one that you want to modify. Immediately I right click like this. You select modify. There are a couple of things that you can do. You can select all data, you can rename it, you can remove from style. But most of the time, what we need is we want to modify it to make sure it suits our taste. I click on modify. That is how I open the dialog box. And I will explain this thing once again to cover it for heading 2. Let me press OK. Now I've made sure that this is normal body. Just let's leave that name like that. So I want to select something. Maybe I'm having bullet 1.0 here. Yes, as this. Let me adjust. Yes. No, don't generate automatically 1.0. And the thing has a lot of information here. Maybe I'm having 1.2. Okay. For this, maybe this is the title. Okay. Now I want to format. You notice that the spacing in between like this, I really don't like it. Let me change this to a popular one. Introduction. Yes, introduction to something like this. So let me see that. Now you notice that this space in between is like not what the setting is supposed to be. And I will come here. I want to apply my heading 2, which is the second heading, which will be a sub heading under heading 1. So from here, I will come back here to the top. For the person that has a question that you did not see how I go about it, I want to do everything all at once now again. I'll come here, right click, modify. You will notice my edit 2, the fonts that I'm using is Times New Roman. You can click on this small arrow and pick from the available list here. So, and you can type it. I click on this. The font size should be 12. You type it. This time around, you can also choose justify. Make sure it's justified. line spacing, let that be 1.5 based on what we are using. And also, you see before is 8 and after is 4. Let's see, maybe we are cool with this, or we should even still reduce it a little bit. So if you want to increase, notice that the arrow one is up and up, that's increasing, and the one that is facing each other is to decrease it. So let's see, maybe this is cool with what we want to do, and press OK. Oh, there is one more thing that I did not do. I want to make sure that this is my heading 2. I did not remember to change the color. Let me change the color to black and make sure it is bold. What else? What else? I think that is all I need for now, and I'll press OK. Now I will apply that to this. I will click on this one. Anywhere you click, so far it is on that line, and you apply your heading 2. You know, instantly everything adjusts in the right way as we are saying it here. And notice that this is now a branch under that heading 1. This is heading 1. Let me take it back. And this is heading 2. Now let me apply it to this one also. I'll click on my 1.2. I'll just come here to select. I'll come here anywhere from this thing, just pick it somewhere and you apply your heading 2. So immediately you do that, you notice that this section on my headings panel, I have this. Now all of this is inside this one. 1.0 and 1.2. That one's supposed to be 1.1. Am I correct? If I correct that, 1.0, 1.1. Now this is how to apply heading. Now let me move down to chapter 2. Let me check my slide so I can cover everything accordingly. Now advanced text formatting and styling. Now we have header, footer, page number, and section break. Let me cover that very, very quick. Now let's say, you know, in a normal document like advanced one, your chapter 2, let me write it here. CHAPTERWO. Why am I typing my chapter like this? CHAPTER. Yes, chapter 2. So I don't need to worry about whether it's small letter, it's capital letter for those that are following me, because I have formatted and make sure that things are done properly. But if you notice, chapter 2 of every document is supposed to be in another line. So the same thing is applicable when you want to send maybe letter to people. You want to send 3, 4, 5 letters together. You should make sure that at the end of one letter, you want to start another person's letter, should always be on the fresh page. But it is not a good thing to have a chapter 2 like this. And what is the best way of doing this? Because at some point you might want to add another text to this place. Now what I'm saying in essence is that if my chapter 2 is here, let me open this thing for us, which is let me zoom this in. Now this thing that we have here is, you see, show or hide, show paragraph, you see the information, show paragraph, mark, and other hidden formatting style. Now, as we are formatting always, there are some things that is hidden. And for somebody that wants to format properly, should know or have the ability to check all these things that is hidden. So for that reason, just come down here to this show and hide formatting, and you click on it. Now you will notice that I'm having some lines within my text. You will notice that there are some, let me see where I will have it very well. You notice at the end of this thing, this same symbol is available on at the end of all of this thing. And you will notice that in the middle of all this way that we have space. You have enter space, 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 space. You are saying dot, dot, dot. But if I remove that thing, you will not see that dot there again. But immediately we press space. So which means everything we are doing is taking a particular space. It was only when you enter that advanced formatting that you'll be able to see everything inside. Now what I want to do is that the popular way people used to do this thing, they want to shift to chapter 2. They will just press enter. And they'll keep going. They'll press enter, 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 enter like this until they get to this place, which is definitely not right. That is completely wrong. Because if I put it this way, and maybe the manager or somebody call me that, okay, let's add some text to this space also. Let me press is equals to Lauren. Maybe the manager wants me to add maybe 2 paragraphs. and let me do it this way, to this thing now, and I press enter. You notice that I have added 2 paragraphs to this thing, and you will see that this one I've shifted, it has shifted downward, and which is not supposed to be, that is not how to format things advanced or in a proper way, because if you have a long document of 500 pages, then you have to be going down one by one, go to chapter 1, go to chapter 2, go to chapter 3, go to chapter 4 to adjust that. Now, how to do it? Don't be pressing tab on the keyboard. That is not professional at all. You come back here. Now, when you add this thing, you can maybe leave a space like this, just 1 tab. And at the beginning of your chapter 2 like this, press Control on the keyboard. Let me zoom this thing out so that you can see my key. Press Control on the keyboard and press Enter. So immediately you do that, you will notice that there is a thin line here. If you do not check out this thing, you will not see this line. Make sure that you click on this Show and Hide Paragraph Formatting Paragraph Mark. If you hide it, that line that you are seeing, you will not know that it's there. You will just see that, okay, this thing has jumped to the next page. But for you to understand and see what you are doing properly, make sure you check this Show Hide. So you see page break. Now, if you don't do it this way, there's another way you can do it. So let me delete this. And if you want to do it, maybe you do not remember that shortcut, Control and Enter. The best, another sharp way or fast way to do is just for you to come down to your layout and make sure that your cursor is here, is at the beginning of that word. Go down to your layout, in your layout where we have break, and inside break, just check this one, mark break point at which one page end and the next page begin. Pick it like that. So it's going to perform the same function as what I've done earlier. So let me bring up my Show Paragraph Hide picture so you can see that I'm still having the page break line in this place. Now, any question before I proceed? As we move on. Okay. Now with this, now I want to be a little bit fast here. Then I will come back here. I will apply my style, which is heading 1. Immediately I do that, notice that everything is back in capital letter and is aligned to the center, which I don't need to worry about anything. So now let me apply the second style to this part also. Let me say 2.0 and this. After that, let me come to this page and put 2.1 and let me do the same thing. I'll come back. So I will do the same thing. I will apply, as I'm working on it, I'm applying my style. I apply this 2.1, I apply this also. Maybe I also want to apply another style. Maybe there is a place that I'm having 2.1.1. Some documents used to have it that way. Then I want to apply, this one now is another thing, and I want to apply another style. So let me quickly go about this heading 3 once more to do that so that I can go back again and explain things very quickly. Now, I will not talk too much. I'll just move on, and I believe that we will grab it. I'll right click, I'll click on modify. This is heading 3. Let me bring that outside a little bit. This is heading 3. Time New Roman, no, 14 is too much. Let me take it back to 12. This should be black. This should be bold. Justify. Line spacing, this should be 1.5. And the spacing between 8 before, 8 after, no, let me shrink it a little bit. 0 before and 2 before, 0 after. And this should be, let me make sure that they are, okay, this will be fine by me. Now I'll now go to my 2.2.1 and I'll apply my heading 3 to it very fast. Now you notice some layers arrangement here. When in chapter 1, this is heading 1. This is heading 1, heading 2. Now in chapter 2, I'm having heading 1, heading 2. I notice that heading 3 is another layer inside. So if you have heading 4, it's going to move inside. If you have heading 5, it's going to be moving in like that. So another thing I want to cover here, I've covered this style section a little bit and to some extent that I believe we should be able to work with. I've covered the layout. I've covered some view section. How we can bring this navigation pane out. If you don't have it, when you open your document, come to navigation pane, click on it so that you can have it. Check it. Your navigation pane will come out. If you don't have this ruler, make sure you check the ruler also to have it. And multiple views. If you want to be seeing more paper at once, you can come here, click on multiple views so that you can be working with maybe a good number of paper, a good number of Workspace at the same time, if you bring it down. But me, I like to make sure that I'm working on a page at a time. You keep it at one page. And I talk about this read mode, print layout, and web layout. So some of you might be seeing your Microsoft Word that looks like this. And you'll be thinking like, okay, what type of Microsoft Word am I using? If you are using something like this, press escape on the keyboard and make sure you stay at print layout, print layout, print layout. That is the best thing, and that's the best format for formatting document. Let me come back here to bring out my navigation page. And I've also explained a way that if you don't have any of these tabs that I'm having at the top here, your home, your insert, your draw, your design layout, reference, review, view, help, there is developer. I've removed that. Go to your option, customize ribbon, and bring that out. Now, let me quickly go back to my slide so that I can have something to work with. Yes, I've talked about these advanced text formatting and style, header, footer, page membrane, and section break. Now, there is what we call section break, and there is what we call page break. So I've just explained the section break. So, but before I just explained the page break, but before I can explain the section break, now with this, as I was explaining earlier, this is the page break. I'll talk about section break. Now, I want to add, notice. Okay, let me use multiple view here so we can understand what I'm saying better. Now, notice here I'm having a page break. The other time that I use tab on the keyboard, the chapter 2 is shifting. But now let me just add some other text. Let me add new text to it and press enter. Now this text is added, but you see that my chapter 2 is not moving. Even I can press enter on the keyboard to add some paragraph. Notice that they are not, my chapter 2 is not leaving that space. It is until when this page break move to this page, and you notice that my chapter 2 also will move to another line. You see, automatically when this page break is here, the chapter 2 also will move to another page automatically. It doesn't accept that. So I can write anything right here concerning my chapter 2, which means that this is applicable to all the documents in chapter 3. You don't need to go back. Automatically, everything will be working fine and good. Your chapter 2 will always, all your new text, anyhow you set it, your letter, each letter will always be beginning at a fresh page based on your setting. Now, we have header and footer. Now, header and footer is just like something that looks hidden but is available everywhere on your screen. Now, if you come here, let me go to my layout, design. Now, some of these things, if you are using Microsoft 2016 or you are using Microsoft 2020, 2021, some of these things will not look like the way we're supposed to have it. Like what I'm having in inserts now. Some of you will have it inside design, but the concept and the design, the arrangement is still the same thing. But me currently, I'm using Microsoft 2021, and I think 2021 to 2024 is having the same format. Now, I want to come to my header and footer. The reason why I want to show us that is inside under this insert. So there is a shortcut, and that's the best way, and the way everybody used to do it. If I'm on my chapter 1 now, I click header. Oh, it's taking time. So if I click on header, you have a lot of information here that, okay, how do you want the header to look? You want to edit header, you want to do this. But the fastest way is just for you to tap at the top here. Now I'm inside the header because this is the header. Now the function of that header is, if I type something at the top here, let me write D. Okay, let me write DSAS, DSAS, add. Okay, let me uncheck that my paragraph spacing so that we can see DSAS add advanced class. Advanced is not that intact. Oh, this add VA. So let me just leave it this way. DSAS advanced class. So if I leave this header now, let me just come out. You will notice that this thing that I just typed at the top here, if I go to the next page, let me use multiple view. You see on this page is there. On this page is there. I don't want you to use one. on this page is there, on this page is there. So if you keep scrolling down, it's going to be available at the page at the top, at the up, the header. Now, if I do the same thing to my footer and I type, let me just say welcome, or yes, read happily, like that. And you notice on my footer also. So what you are doing to your header is not applicable to your footer. So you can separate everything independently. You see, like my header, the footer, you see, read happily is always available at this. So this is very important when you want to put maybe logo, you want to make sure that something is consistent. For those that used to write letter, you want to write letterhead. Anything you want to design in your letterhead, while we still practice all of those things as well. Anything you want to do in your letterhead should be here. That's complete logo, everything that you want should be at the top here. So, which means that whenever you move to the other page, that design will be on the other page as well, and you just move on and you keep designing. Now, header formatting, let me check one more thing because I arranged in such a way for me header, footer, page numbering, and section break. Now, page numbering is at the footer. Some people used to put it at the top. There's no way you cannot put your page number. You can put it at the top. You can put it at the bottom here. Now, it's still the same thing inside my insert. You see header, you see footer, and you see page numbering. The same thing. I'll come down here. Let me go back to my chapter 1. Come to the bottom side. I will delete this thing that I'm having inside. I want to have my numbering inside this piece. Now, I will go to, let me come back here. You will notice that immediately I enter my footer, my reading and tab here is going to change. If I double click, immediately I enter, you see that there is another arrangement and there is new tab that is showing. All this one is conceptual tab, that whenever you have a particular function, they are not visible until you have something that relates with them. You see header and footer tabs standing out on their own differently because there are some other functions that we cannot have inside this space alone. Inside this insert, if I come here and I pick my footer, there are some functionality that I will not have access to. But if I double click here, I will have access to many more things that I will explain as we go on. Now, what I want to do here is page numbering. I click on page numbering and you see to the top, let me bring that up, to the top, come back. I can do it to the top, to the bottom, bottom margin, and you see that there is something is changing in this page. If I put it to the top, you will notice that this paper is showing the top part of a book. If I choose bottom, you will notice that this thing is displaying in a style that you will know, okay, this is the bottom part of the paper. And you see page margin, you see how the thing is going to look like, you see current position and many more. But most of the time, what we use is this one that we have page, bottom page, and you will select from this set. You see this one is to the right, this is to the left, this is your number at the center, and this is to the right. So let me pick the one that says at the center. Immediately you do that, you see your number 1, you go down, the next one is number 2, you go down, the next one is number 3, and the number will go like that to the level or to the end of the document. To the end of the document. Let me uncheck and show us the end. Now I'm having 9 pages. Let me go back up. I can do that by clicking here, go back to my page 1 and come inside here. Now, any question before I move further? This is 2 minutes out of my time. I'm supposed to stop by 8:30, but any question before I move further? I want to cover that section break part. So I want to generate a table of contents and show us that section break. Now give us an assignment so that most of us also will have a content to generate the table of content. We'll work on the header, the footer, and we'll create some style while we submit in tomorrow's class before we move on. Any other question? The script keep going on and off. Am I the only one? Mr. Steven Bella is saying the screen is going on and off. I believe my screen is working perfectly. Let me see some reaction. All right. Okay, now, after all my English so far, now I want to have another break in here. I'll click Control and Enter, just as I've mentioned, because I want that page to be starting at a fresh page. And I'll come here, bring in my spacing, my paragraph break. I'll come to the beginning of this page and I write table of contents, table of contents. Then I'll select this first part. I'll apply my heading one. After I've done that, I'll press enter on the keyboard, which will take it to the body because this is automatically the body. Now, this place, okay, let me generate my table of content very well. Now, if you do not use this style, you'll not be able to generate any table of content inside your document. If you like, you body do anything. Now, the reason why we can be able to generate table of content is because style is applied inside our documents. Let me come here. Okay, I'm seeing some reaction. So I will come back here. I've applied style. And inside my table of content, I'm expecting to see the list of everything that is visible here, from chapter 1 to everything that is listed here. So then I'll go to my reference tab. This one I see reference tab. Now inside my reference tab, you see this where I'm having table of content. There is a lot of English at the top here. Most of these ones, you basically do not need everything because some are useful for those that are doing book production and some other things. So let me come down to this that I'm having table of content. Now inside the table of content, there are some formats that is made available for you that you can just click and move on. So if I click on this one, you will notice that my table of content is available. If you just pick any format, so including the page numbering, the one that is on page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, and so on. So let me just quickly go to the end of my document. If I want to go to the end of this page, just press Control on your keyboard and press End. That place that we have home, page up, page down, end. Just click on End on the keyboard. As you can see, that is displaying here Control and End. So I want to add something at the end of this page. Let me add, is it index? Let me add index. And I will apply my heading 1 to it. Okay, and I'll put it on, let me leave it on this page, which is page 10. You know, I've just added this one. Let me use this page to go back to my table of content. See, it's very easy for me to go down and to go up, down, just very quick, instead of me scrolling. I noticed that my table of content, this index is not showing yet. And the reason is that it's not part of, it is not there when I generated this table of content and I need it. The only thing that you have to do is just to right click on this table of content and we have update field. You click on update field. Immediately you do that, it's going to pick it up. Right click and okay, update field is now available at the top. Just you see, the first thing we have here is we have it as update page number or entire table. You update page number when you don't add any new style, or you update the entire table when you update, maybe you add some style to it. I will update the entire table. But when you do that, you notice that my index is now visible and part of what I'm having here in my list. The index is there inside page 10. Now, any question before I move on, I'll still do it one more time. And if there's any question, so I can write them. I'm saying exactly, sir. Okay, I believe no question as a result of that. Now, let me regenerate this thing. I don't like to have it this way. So let me just delete everything. Let me delete this. Let me remove table of contents and I'm back to the normal state. Now I'll go to my reference tab. I want to make some adjustment. I don't like that formatting. I'll go to my reference tab, table of content. Instead of me picking from the presets that is available in that place, I will go to custom table of content. Immediately I'm having that on my screen. You see I'm having two dialog box. This dialog box available. I'm seeing web view at this end and I'm seeing print view. This web view use hyperlink instead of page number. So whenever you check this one, your table of content, even if it is inside PDF, the person will be able to navigate through that list. Whether they click it, it's going to go to a particular table of content. But let's leave that for now. Now we have show page number. If I uncheck this, Page number will not be included inside my table of content. If I click it, page number is going to be available. Now, write align number. If I check this, you see, the number is not aligned. The number is aligned with them, but I need, this spacing is very important and vital. Now, tap break. I can change it from those dots to dash, to a solid line, or to dash. So anyone you want, let me keep it to this dash. Or if you don't even want anything at all, I just make sure that everything is just white like this. For me, I believe this, and I'm cool with this one. Now, I'm seeing show level. It's showing 3. Now, I can have 3 style, 3 heading style, or 3 style based on what I name it. But I don't want all of these styles to be available inside my table of content. Maybe that's going to be too much. I can reduce it to 2. You see that, okay, all the heading 3, don't show it. I only want heading 1 and heading 2. But let me still have my heading 3 available and inside my table of content. Now, this is not the end. I want to modify some things inside. I will go to this page that I'm having option. You see heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Let me click OK. I'm cool with that. And I'll go to modify. Now, this one is representing heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. If you have more heading, just keep clicking on it like that. Now, my heading 1, let me modify this heading 1 now. To modify it, you will see that I'm still having this dialog box again. Now, if we are seeing it now, I'm having dialog box, the first one, the second one, and the third one. I believe we understand and the way I'm explaining and moving on. Now you see that this is Time New Roman. I want all my heading 1 to be bold inside my table of content. Now this setting is not applicable to the entire style. This setting is only applicable to the table of content. This style, we made use of a style before. That one is applicable to the entire content of the document. But this style that we are setting now is only applicable to the table of content. So I only want to make sure that this one is bold. This is cool with me. Every other thing is fine. I check it. I click OK. OK. And my heading 3, I want to work on that also. I want to modify it, and I'll select 3, modify. I want to make sure that it is italicized. It is not bold, but I want to make sure that everything is italic. Then I move back and I click check. I think I'm cool with every other setting, and I'll generate my table of contents. Now, if you look at my table of content, now let me hide my paragraph something. Let me use this thing to hide it. So if you look at my table of contents now, so with the little style that I've added, I'm saying my chapter 1, chapter 2, and the number is there. Now let me go down to the end of that page, my index. Let me say, this index was supposed to be in another fresh page. I click on Control and Enter. This is supposed to be in a fresh page. It's not supposed to be with my chapter 2, and I come back to my table. You will notice that this number is still 10. If I go to my index now, my index is on page 11. Page 11, which means, let me go back to my table of content, and I'll click on it. You can right click and update field. You can bring it out, but most of the time I prefer to go down to my reference tab here, reference tab, and I'll click update table field. This one, update table field, and then so far I did not add any style or any other thing. I'll just update table, update page number only, and I'll check that. Immediately I'm done with that, you will notice that my page number of my index is now 11. It has changed from 10. I think let me stop here today so I will not complicate things too much. And I believe we understand what I'm saying so far. So any question?
Okay. So I just want to ask that is this steps the same thing for the latest model of Word? Because I think my own layout here is some kind of different from yours, sure.
Yes, it's the same step.
All right, thank you.
Yes, it's the same step. If you check, let me use the web version. Let me open the web version that will allow. So the step and the process and everything you are seeing on the screen is the same thing with the current one. It's only those that are using maybe Microsoft, let me see, maybe 2016, 2013, 2010, that their layout will be different. But anything from 2021 and above, the layout is the same thing. Okay, let me share my tab here so that you can see Windows, tab, docs, share. Okay, if you are using the latest version, even if you're in the dark mode, you see the same thing, the insert, the layout, the reference, the view. You see the navigation, you come to the home, and you see the styling. If you right click as well, it's the same step entirely for everything that you are seeing. You see the header one, you can click, you can manage, you can modify, you can click here to see the full list because this is the web version. But if you are seeing using what is it called? If you are using the one that is on your laptop, everything, every step is the same thing, step by step, one by one, and you are good to go. So this piece, which I have my section break, I didn't talk about the section break yet. I'll cover that tomorrow. So which is the section break, long document formatting, and this part. We'll cover it as we move on tomorrow. I'll cover everything that has to do with table of content and referencing. I've mentioned this just because it works well with this one, this part. So I'll pick this part and this part tomorrow. So we'll cover everything that has to do with that section. And I'll prepare a very long document for us so that we'll do some adjustments. I'll send a long document as well for us to practice, not today. That'll be for tomorrow section.
Sorry, I have a small question before you go.
All
You
right.
mentioned something about the web version.
Yes.
How can you get web version, sir?
Web version.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know, when you have something in print, it's just the view. That part, let me share my screen back. All right, so this place that I'm having the web, you see this place that we have web layout. Oh, and I've cut that section. This place that we have web layout, you see. Okay, this document, if they upload it on the web, how is it going to look like? That's what this one means. Like if they upload it on the web, that's like in other hand, let me close this part. You know, on website, everything is just very long on the desktop. So if they upload this thing on the web, with this thing that you are seeing here, that is arranged properly, staying at the center, everything is looking good. You see my table of content now, how it looks in print layout. If you want to print it on paper, but if they upload it or pick all these documents here and they want to put it on the web, you see how everything is stretched. This is how it's going to look like until they do other adjustment and formatting to it. Like this is a web view. I can close this tab. Let me hide. You see, this is how it's going to look like on the web. So you will notice how everything will look like before you print, before you send, and before you do anything to it. So read mode is like when you want to read a document. You have a very long document and how you read it. So you have a very smooth and effective way of reading your document. It's just about the view. What you have inside Microsoft is about view, how you view it.